Chris, what you think about that? I didn't tell Chris that Shahida did that little intro for us.
That's nice. I like that.
Well, I didn't do it. Michael did it, but I harassed and I helped.
What song is that? What song is that?
He told me. I can't remember.
But it's still dope.
Oh, that was me.
Still dope.
Oh, I didn't hear. I only heard the music. I didn't hear someone say still dope.
You didn't hear at the beginning, yeah.
Oh yeah, it goes still dope.
I didn't hear any music. I didn't hear any.
Oh, when we post it, you can listen to it. Well, hi guys, it's been a minute.
A minute and a lot.
It hasn't been a week.
Yeah, we missed last week though.
We did?
Yeah, we did. Because we're on episode 5.
Oh,
but you know what?
Wasn't the last time? I was home though, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you were home.
So it was a week.
But we missed
last week's. Well, we watched it, but we didn't podcast on it, which is fine because at the end of the day, it was still in the wedding phase, and you know how the weddings are. It's just like it is what it is. Now we're at honeymoon phase, and now it's getting down and dirty.
To talk about.
Child, Married at First Sight, Denver. I have a feeling. Okay, before we get into that, I got to touch upon a hot topic.
I know where you're going. Diddy
in a span of 24 hours, this is world record settlement shit. Last night, we get I'm online like this, reading the whole court documents, like, clutching my pearls, like, he did that, he's a monster. He did this, oh my God, he's horrible. Jaguar Wright has been right all along all these years. And wake up this morning to it's been settled out of court, and they both gave their little, what do you call them things? Their little
public relations spin.
Public relations little spin on it. We both, want to resolve this. It's been resolved amicably. What the fuck is amicable about being tortured for 10 damn years?
A mil?
No, more like 100 mil.
Huh?
But she was asking for 30 mil, so who knows? She probably got more.
Probably got 5 mil. First of all, but the sex trafficking thing, forcing her to have sex with male prostitutes? Forcing her?
I think where that comes in, because I had that look on my face too, was the drugs.
Yeah.
It was the drugs. Him actually feeding her drugs and then being put in those situations.
Yeah.
And then him videotape. And she's 19. She's 19.
He's 37.
She wants to make it in this industry, and she's dependent on drugs. I think that's a big part.
Agreed.
Okay.
Listen to me. I'm just waiting for the lifetime
personal responsibility. I understand that.
But Chris,
the only thing here's what I'm going to say to that. It's the 10 years for me. Like, I get maybe 1 year, like you first meet them and you're just googly-eyed because you want to be in this business, and you've got this person that's that high up there and that successful, that's like invested in you and wants to have a relationship with you. And I get that, but I'm like 10 years, I'm like, where's your people? Like with everything, I'm always like, where's your people? You are 19, where's your parents? Where's your family? Don't you got siblings? And
she getting money. She's taken care of.
It was Aaliyah's family.
And they benefit from that too.
Aaliyah's family, again, back to Aaliyah. Aaliyah's family was there too, but they were looking at her as, the meal ticket. So that could possibly be the same, where she's like, you know what? I'm going to put up with this because I got to support my family. But I'm just like,
Did she have
Yo,
any songs at all? Did she ever have a hit song?
she only had that one song, Just Me and You. I've been waiting, think I'm gonna make a move now. Baby, tell me how you like it. Tell me
Was,
if
was she,
you like
oh,
it.
that's her.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah, that's her.
Mhm.
did she?
You
Was
know,
she in?
I'm not, I
Danity
can't
Kane? Was she
sing,
in
so you're
Danity
gonna have to
Kane?
Google that.
Not a fan.
Was she in Danity Kane too?
No,
Because that
no.
girl came out too. Was like, I've been trying to tell y'all. I've been trying
She
to tell
did.
you
A lot of
the other
people
day.
have come out and said it.
Yep.
And
When I first heard it, my immediate thought was it shocked me. Everybody else was like, how do you not know that he was like this? I didn't know that he was out here. I mean, because she's alleging that he would beat her, stomp her, kick her. I mean, a lot of physical abuse. And then they're saying too that Kim Porter went through the same thing with him, like a real physical. I never, of course, how would I know? I don't live in Hollywood. I don't associate with these people. So whenever I saw pictures of him and her, you know, I always thought, oh yeah, she's very young, but that's Diddy. They look like they were happy. You know what I'm saying? And that's the thing I think we all need to be so careful of is looking at a situation and thinking, oh, it's perfect. And then it comes out. And I get what you're saying, Tanya, about her waiting 10 years or being in that situation for 10 years. There are people in situations like that that you and I can't understand fully, but people live an entire lifetime under abuse
True.
because they feel like they can't get out. And I might not fully understand it. I can empathize. And I know people were saying, well, why would she wait till this late date to sue him? And then my thing was with that, it's like, if she went through what she said she went through for those 10 years, the trauma on trauma on trauma that woman has had to deal with, how did she even make it out the house?
Yeah. I guess from what I understand,
her Porsche or her Bentley or whatever.
I mean, granted, I think you make light of it just because she has money or is in that situation. Abuse is abuse. And there's a lot of very, very, very rich women in extremely abusive situations. And just because I guess abuse looks different when you're getting in a Bentley compared to when you're getting up in a Ford pickup, but it's still abuse. And people feel controlled and like I was in an abusive situation, but mental abuse is something when you're with someone and they tell you, you will never have anything without me. And you start to believe that. It takes a long time sometimes for other people to get it through their head that that's a mental game that they're playing with you. So I'm fortunate enough, like Tanya, you say, well, where were her people? I had people. And my people speak up for me. So a situation where it could have been 10 years for me was only 3 or 4 years for me. You know what I mean? So I get it. It's just that the stuff that she described was just horrific. And I think
Why do it now? What was
because the statute of limitations was about to run out. And so there was another act, there was some sort of act that in New York, I forgot the name of the act. I don't have it off the top of my head, but there was some sort of like violence and abuse victims act that had just been enacted last year or 2 years ago. And the statute of limitations, I think, was also supposed to run out. So now she's come out. I get it. She was 19. Like I couldn't possibly at 19. I'm like, I'm in college. I'm just trying to figure out what the hell I want to do with my life. So if you met somebody that's like 37 years old, like if I'm 19 and you're 37, I'm like, oh, you're old. You know, that's what I'm thinking. Like you're old and you're taking this interest in me and you want to like puff me up. I can see her getting caught up. I feel bad that she had to suffer through that for 10 years and didn't have not one person either in the industry or within her family or in her tribe that could just be like, look, we're going to get you out of there. Because all of a sudden, all these videos are now coming up with like young Jock was talking about it. A video surfaced yesterday. Young Jock gave an interview and was talking about how Diddy had all this control over her and how he was doing some crazy shit with her. And, you know, obviously Jaguar Wright has been talking about this for years. And the girl from Danity Kane has been talking about this for several years. So I'm just glad that Cassie got it out, and, you know, hopefully she can move on from this. But I'm kind of a little jaded though, because I'm like, you already know if he paid her ass today, he settled today, you know we ain't getting no book. I bet you that was a stipulation. You better take your money and you will never speak on this again, and there's no book about to be coming out. I hope that Kim Porter's people gets that book together that she was writing and finishes it and publishes it, because I think that's why Diddy, well, I'm not going to say, allegedly, Diddy snuffed her ass out.
Yeah, that's a big.
And that's all I have to say on that one.
As for the why she wait this long, I honestly think too that, you know, if that's 10 years of trauma that she had to come to terms with herself to even speak it into existence. Like I'm saying, there is things that have happened to me in my lifetime that I still have not said out loud to other people that have been just as traumatic.
Same.
So multiply that times everything that she says happened, and then the amount of time that it did happen, it could have taken her that long. And then when she realized, I mean, I'm pretty sure she realized that the statute of limitations was coming up on it. It's either do or die, because, you know, I would much rather her have wrote the damn book.
Same.
You know, I mean, if this person, I always feel like if a person is a monster, don't settle. Expose the monster. This man he's dating that young girl now. What's her name?
Young, I think what's her name? Young Miami. Is he still with her?
Yeah, you know, he's dating her now. He's and other people have said that they have warned her about him. And obviously there are these rumors about him and how he behaves and what he does with women. Taking a settlement, to me, just gives that person more power and energy to do it to someone else. If you really want to help society, then you need to get the monster off the street.
Well, the monster has been in the street as of this morning. He's already posted 2 videos on TikTok, and he's just taking it again. He's just taking it with a grain of salt. You know,
well, I would, if I was him, I would be doing the same thing.
Yeah.
Because then he obviously might not feel he's done anything really wrong. We were in a relationship, and you did what I asked you, but I did things that you wanted me to do too.
Yeah. Well, based off of the 2 videos he just put out on TikTok today, he's given 0 fucks about it. He's just moving on. He's doing his thing. Anyway, speaking of moving on, married.
I want to hit Chris, because Chris is really not.
Sorry, Chris, you've been silent. My bad.
He's thinking.
I just think, I don't know. I feel like there's a fine line between, yes, he's a monster. If she said, you know, if there's smoke, there's fire. You know, there's so much smoke. It's like, oh, it's not just smoking from there's got to be fire from so many different people. I mean, I agree with you, exposing the monster, you know, and maybe doing something about the monster as opposed to the settlement aspect of it so fast.
Mm-hmm.
That gets me kind of, it kind of, I don't want to make it seem like it excuses what he did. Well, I got my money, so let's not talk about it anymore. Just give me money and I won't talk about you anymore.
Yeah.
That, even though it's a tremendous amount of money, it almost feels like, and what it is how much money is it going to take for you to shut up? How much
30
money does it
million?
take for you to shut up? And
30
she's
million?
like, you know, 20, I know you got $1 billion or whatever, Diddy. I'll take 20 million. Okay, then shut up. So it kind of in just like with Trump, it kind of emboldens and empowers you to be like, oh yeah, I fucked her. No, I never fucked her before, and then just pay him off and you do it again and do it again and do it again. It's like, so what is your? It feels like it. What is your price?
Mm-hmm.
What is your price?
Yeah, I agree with you.
For you to shut the fuck up.
I
And
agree.
it kind of bothers me that if she had not done that and taken him to court and sued him and maybe gave him some jail time, or what did you for you exposing for what he did to you? That's not a punishment. 20 million is not a punishment to him.
No.
And it's exemplified by it took a day and a half. It took a day and a half. If you gonna accuse me, you're a fucking this, that, and the other, and I go, here's $10. Oh, okay.
I honestly think it was less than 24 hours because it broke. It literally broke like what, mid-afternoon yesterday, and everybody was on TikTok and all over the internet talking about it. And then this morning when I wake up or at like 3, 4 in the morning when I wake up and I'm on TikTok and they're like, a settlement has been reached. And I'm like, wow. So two ways you can look at it. Two ways you can look at it. Chris, you're right. You can look at it as, how much does it take for you to shut your fucking mouth and never speak on this again? Or
fast.
Very fast. Or it's Diddy is like, oh, I don't need this book to come out. Yeah, I did all of that. And I'm talking to my attorneys. I'm going to need you to shut this woman up ASAP. Give her what she wants, whatever she wants, 30 million, 60 million, 100 million, write the check, wire it to her offshore account, however the fuck she wants it. Give her that money before we wake up tomorrow morning.
Yeah, but both of those things, there's no punishment for him. There's no punishment for him. So for me, it's not as hard for me to grab. I look, if you want to get $10 million and that's what you want, what do you want? What do you want from him to feel from this? Because he ain't gonna feel shit. That's like me saying, oh, you did all this. Oh, here's the pomegranate. Here you go. Oh, okay. Thank you.
Yeah.
So not even let him sweat for a week. Next week, is anyone going to be talking about this?
No.
No one. So he can easily like, oh, okay, how much? How much is that? Here. So it just kind of bothers me if she really wants to stick it to him or expose him or make him like, you better not do this again to someone else, to some other young person, even when then make him sweat or make him like, no matter, I don't care what the dollar amount is, but but it comes down to, what is your price to shut the fuck up? And that kind of bothers me, because if he was only making $100,000 a year and he did this and his wages were going to be wages were going to be garnished and he was going to have to move out of his house, something was going to have to affect his life. This does not affect Diddy at all. At all. So he kind of gets away with 10 years of abuse and doing whatever, and he's got the tapes.
And now it emboldens him. Because now he's going to find the next young girl that wants to be an artist and, that's pretty and can sing and can dance or whatever. He's going to take her and he's going to, what he did to Cassie, he's probably going to do worse to this child, because he knows at the end of the day, I'll just pay him off. They'll shut up.
So it half of it bothers me of like, well, what's the point of,
I kind of wish you would have drugged him. I kind of wish you would have dragged him
it out a little bit or something.
That was my point too. that was my point, is that I wish, like, if you're going to expose the monster, take the monster down.
That's
but one of the things I think is, like, they said that they had been going through this process, what Diddy calls extortion, 6 months, that she had been saying she was going to write this book about him, and they had been going back and forth about him not wanting her and then paying her for the book. But within, I think it was actually longer, because I feel like I started reading this on Thursday night about the process. But anyway, he, within 24 or 48 hours, you come to an agreement. She was going to write a book. You were unwilling to pay her when you knew she was going to write a book. But then, the court documents come, we read every single thing. What's the difference? What's the difference of her writing this book or reading what we read in those court documents? They were just as horrific, and what made you change your mind and said, you know what? I mean, a court appearance, there's going to be discovery. You could have ended up paying her less money than the $30 million that she was asking for. So you really wanted to avoid this court case at all costs. But in my opinion, I'm looking at Diddy and I'm like, how dumb are you that when she approached you about a book and you didn't want to have her do this, why didn't you give her the $30 million then? Because we would know nothing about it.
Yeah, but we don't know the full story. He could be thinking that. I mean, honestly, he's not a dumb individual.
No,
dumb for what he did.
Oh no, he's not dumb.
So
that's why I'm shocked that he let it get to this point.
So we don't know all the information, because if they settled so quickly, because of this, I don't know if he's like, well, if she's threatening, and then they finally settle like this. I don't know. You said, why didn't he do it earlier? I don't know. It just feels. I just don't like it. I don't like anything about it. I don't like the fact that he did it. I don't like the fact he's not going to get punished for it. I don't like the fact that she took the money so early and didn't drag it out. If someone I just don't like any of it, is what I'm saying.
No.
Basically, there's no good, like, oh, she got retribution, she got the guy. It's not. It's like, oh, what is this? Diddy's like, oh, how much? Here, just take this.
Yeah, because here's the thing.
What he's doing. So
last night on her IG, she's got a lot of support within the celebrity community. Again, where I'm like, where was all these people when all this was going down? Because obviously y'all knew that she was going through it, but nobody's speaking up until now when it comes out. And now everybody's like, there's I'm not going to name them, but on her Instagram page, a bunch of celebrities were commenting. Like she posted a picture. Yeah, she posted a picture. You can just go to her IG page and just go look. And people are like, I stand with you. I believe you. Oh yeah, I got your back. You're telling the truth and this and that. And I'm saying to myself,
celebrities? What level celebrities?
They were two kind of like, I guess, A-listers. I ain't dropping no names because look at here, I ain't trying to catch a case. I'm gonna let everybody go to her Cassie's IG page and go troll her comments. But people were like, I stand with you. I'm with you. I've always believed you and this. And I'm like, always believed you. Well, where were you, 10 years ago when she was going through it? Nobody said nothing. All these guys, Young Jock, everybody witnessing it.
That's the case with abuse all the time.
Apparently, he blew up Kid Cudi's car because Kid Cudi expressed interest in Cassie, and Kid Cudi last night came out. Kid Cudi never said anything. It was just a rumor all this time. Kid Cudi last night came out and said, "Yep, it's true." So I wish that Cassie would have drug his ass in the gutter, because it would have given everybody else that was probably too afraid to come out and say something that ammunition to be like, Yep, he did that. Yep, Kid Cudi. Yep, he blew up my car 5, 6 years ago, 10 years ago. Yep, he did it. I'm confirming.
But why didn't Kid Cudi do anything? Somebody comes to your driveway and blows up your car and wants you in the house so that you can know that it's him, supposedly through text or whatever, and you know that. Why didn't he do anything? That's what I'm saying. The cycle of abuse is like one of those just crazy things. Everybody will know that it's happening, and you can't say 100% that people didn't say, look, you need to get out of this situation. Look, you need to leave this person, because there's always someone that tells it. It might be a stranger, it might be your doctor, it might be your mama. There's always someone, but until it clicks with that person being abused, nothing usually happens. It's
the same with Harvey Weinstein. How many years has he been abusing women? And every award show, when he was pumping out all these hits and making all these stars, these women are going up there and with their little Academy Award or their Golden Globe. I'd like to thank Harvey, and they're loving him to death, knowing damn well he done abused your ass or sexually molested you or abused you or sexually assaulted you. And then it took a couple of people to come out for everybody to come out. I was hoping that would have been Cassie's moment to be like, I'm gonna step out. I bore the brunt of this abuse. Now I'm gonna put his ass in the street. I don't want you, because for me personally, you could never give me an amount of money to shut me up. I would rather you drag your ass in the gutter. Period. And make your life miserable.
$30 million?
No, I don't need $30 million.
So she don't either.
No, she don't. She got way more money than me. But here's the thing. If I got $30 million, I'll go and make myself $30 million. I'm not going to have somebody be like, I don't need hush money. I don't want hush money.
See.
That's just me. I'm not that person. I've never been that person.
I think it's easier for us to say that when we're not in that situation.
True.
I'm taking the 30 million for my pain and suffering. I am fucking taking it.
Right.
Oh, I'll take it after not literally 12 hours later. I'll take it maybe a week later after I've dragged his ass.
Maybe a week later you only get 10 million. Maybe there's a gradient 30.
But at the end of the day, it's 10 million more than what I have right now. So for me, I'm going to embarrass his ass. Other people will come out of the woodwork and say, yep, he did that to me too. Yep,
but
he did that to me.
Anyway, why don't you settle in 24 hours? If you're going to settle anyway.
No, I'm not doing that.
That's not what I don't know about that, because
I wouldn't do that.
Because if you're going to settle anyway, why wouldn't you settle for the most amount you can get if that's what you want? Your ultimate goal is to settle, right? Your ultimate goal is to settle for as much as you can, and that's why he said, "I'm gonna give you 30. If you wait a week, it's gonna be 20 million. If you wait another week, it's gonna be 10 million." And we can drag
it. Don't make it public. Here's the thing: don't file court documents. Tell your attorneys. Reach out to him and his people and say, "We got all of this."
Did that in the 6 months we were talking about. What Shahida said. Maybe she did that in the 6 months leading up to, I'm gonna write the book, and it wasn't working. She's like, okay, fine, I'm gonna publicly expose you, and then we're gonna see what you. That's what I'm saying. There seems to be, and what kind of bothers me about it, there seems to be a price. How much is going to cost? There seems to be a price for everything. So I just don't like it on any level. No. Settling, not settling, what he did, none of it. None of it is. It's all bullshit to me.
Yeah,
it's all bullshit. I don't like any of it.
I don't either. And I'm not going to have my silence be bought. That I can never ever talk about it. And the fact that now you're going to sit there and you're going to be walking around on award shows. Music shows.
So you would take him to court and you would go through the whole thing and get nothing about it and and ruin your career or your thing and live that tragedy and that life and that abuse and sustain it for a year and a half, 2 years, and do all of that stuff just to expose him, which probably won't make a difference anyway.
Yeah, because here's the thing. Look at Cassie. Cassie hasn't had a hit since that damn song way back in the day. And Cassie is doing pretty well for herself since then.
So then
what
why
did she do?
Why did she
What
need
has
an
she
extra?
done?
She models, and she, I guess her husband is a celebrity fitness trainer. They got money. They're living in the Hollywood
they're
Hills.
comfortable.
So then why settle? Then why didn't she?
That's what I'm saying. If I got all this money and I'm comfortable, why I'm not settling? I'm going to drag your ass to the street.
You have a husband. You have a career, and you're going to be defined by that. By 2 children.
Well, she's forever defined by that. Now that she put it out there, and then she settled within 24 hours, she's always going to be defined for that. That's public record now.
But it'd be different if they drag this over a year. I'm just saying. I think everyone to us.
Damn it! I want his ass to go to jail. I'm sorry. If he really did this shit, he needs to go to jail. More people need to come out, and they need to R. Kelly, Bill Cosby his ass. He is not above the law, and this is what pisses me off about the haves and the have-nots. This is why people like Diddy get away with the bullshit that they get away with, and people in that industry get away with the bullshit they get away with because they fucking can. They need to be held accountable. They are no better than you. They are no better than me.
Can I say one thing? When it comes to abuse of women, there's no such things as the haves and the have-not. Men get away with abusing women. And what Diddy did, believe me, there's some low-level punk doing the same thing to another woman. And I get why Cassie, what's it, Cassie or Cassidy? Cassidy. I get why she settled to a point, because I think this was definitely a wake-up call for him to okay, you pay me this money or we're gonna go to court. Her not wanting her, she definitely did expose him, because this is court documents, and it's the court of public opinion at this point now too. And then there are other people coming up. So she has done somewhat of a service, but had she taken him to court, I don't know how he would have suffered criminally. Like if, because he definitely would have not suffered, but he definitely would have given her the financial amount that he's probably giving her now. Or it could be less because it's a jury of her peers. She wanted a jury trial, and people on that court or in that jury could be like, well, you did this for 10 years. Just like, all of us probably have said, you were with him for 10 years. You were in a relationship with him for 10 years. Why do you think you deserve 30 million of his money? And yeah, I believe he might have abused you, but it's only worth $10 million to me. So it could have worked out all kind of different ways for her and him. Right. So to take the settlement, it's just like she's assured the money that she wants.
Right. But that means that she has a price.
Thank you.
I'm not mad at her. I'm not mad at her for having a price. I'm not mad at her. As to the whole thing sucks. I'm not mad at her for doing the price. I just don't like any of it. I just don't like any of that she had to settle, that he had to do. I don't like any of it, is what I'm saying. And it's hard. It's hard for me to justify when, if you say, no matter what, I'm gonna stick it to him and get it, this, that, and the other, and for a year, and as long as it takes for him to go to jail, if he's not gonna if you have a family, if you have all these other things that are gonna affect it, if that's gonna be your life there's a price for everything. There's a price.
I do feel bad for his children, his daughters especially.
I don't feel bad for none of them.
I do.
No, they'll be all right.
I don't like being embarrassed. They will be all right. But yet, and still, you have people are mean, and you don't think that they go to parties and something and somebody pop off on that, something that you had nothing to do with, but now you got to carry that bit of a burden too. And they might have to carry it more so than he ever will have to carry it.
Yeah, they
But
go
anyway,
to high end. They go to high end celebrity schools, Sierra Canyon and friggin'
and those
California,
rich
with all the other rich
people are the worst
kids.
people.
Yeah, with all the other rich kids whose rich ass billionaire parents have done some dirt. So nobody's clean. Please. I don't feel sorry for them kids. Fuck them kids.
We didn't went 35 minutes into this. Are we gonna get to Married at First Sight?
Oh, yeah, let's go. Listen,
We're not talking about Dwayne Martin and Will Smith.
Who?
I don't want to talk about them Smiths. I don't
We're
want
not
to talk
talking about Dwayne Martin and Will Smith.
I don't believe that. Do you? You do? Okay, sir.
I believe it.
You saw what's her name? Lisa Ray lost her husband to Dwayne Martin.
I believe it.
Oh, sir, wait.
Yep, I remember that.
No,
Lisa
I did
Ray.
not know this.
Yep.
I'm not saying.
Lisa Ray lost her husband.
Go on.
Dwayne
Okay, so
is
here's my thing. That shit ain't criminal. At the end of the day, it's not criminal. It's maybe it's a man, two men that have wives or had a wife. I know Dwayne and Tisha Campbell aren't together anymore, but it's like you got these celebrity black men that are married that, they're DL. That's not a crime.
I heard the rumor, but I just dismissed it as just people being messy. He took Lisa Ray's husband.
Hold on.
What? I totally missed that.
None of that surprises me.
And then when I heard about Will Smith and him, I'm just that's low hanging fruit at this point. So much is gonna just drop about Will and Jada that I just don't care about Will and Jada anymore.
I don't. I'm over them. I mean, again, it also goes back to Diddy with Usher. He supposedly brought Usher up in this game, and there's always been the rumors. Jaguar Wright ain't the only one that's been talked about. Several people have talked about when Usher just came out and he was a kid, and Diddy was fucking him up the ass too, and turned his ass out. But Usher ain't never gonna say nothing now because Usher is the fucking king dingling. He ain't gonna say shit. That rumor has been out, and then went so far as when the rumor of Usher discovering Justin Bieber and turned Justin Bieber out. Why? And that's the rumor with that. Why Justin Bieber is all with the tattoos all over his body and doing all this and doing all that.
What I thought was going to be a union in which it was going to be what we wanted it to be, because he did say, I want to date you within our marriage. To me, he was absolutely right, because I'm not so sure I would have stayed if we didn't do it that way. No family.
Hold on. Let me get to the
school or having an engagement.
Someone that Martin for Lisa Ray was a nemesis that was unbelievable. And he was someone that she trusted, someone that she felt was her friend, someone she had bonded with, and none of that was true.
Somehow within that relationship,
because they did a show together.
Wayne Martin, and they became better friends than what me and my husband did, and I couldn't understand that for the love of God.
This is the we don't know who ain't gonna be right in our life until they ain't right.
So she accused him of.
I'm gonna sip my fucking tea.
Right.
This one.
She said she claims that Dwayne Martin had intercourse with Will. Oh, that's yeah. So yeah, she said that Dwayne Martin was with.
Again, at the end of the day, it's not a crime. If they are just low key gay or bisexual men getting their freak on with other men and other women's husbands, that's not my monkey, not my motherfucking circus. Let them do what the fuck they want to do. I feel bad for them that they can't live there. If that's truly what they want to do, then I feel bad that they can't live their true authentic self and still be celebrities. I can see Will Smith going with another man. Look who he's married to. Yeah. Please.
Wow.
Anyway,
Wow.
all right, let's go.
All right.
It's 40 minutes in. You
All
guys
right, 40 minutes in. Look at here. Let's get to this. We got 40, 50, 60. All right, 20 minutes. Let's do let's talk
The
about
last
marriage.
episode wasn't that great. There were some key things, but not a lot.
I don't have that many things. All I'm just gonna let me just give my quick opinion. I love me some Austin and Becca. I think they are the Married at First Sight Denver's Woody and Armani. And on a side note, congratulations to Woody and Armani. They just had their second son the other day.
Wow.
They're a family of 4. I just like everything about Becca and Austin. It's so easy for them. I watch it and I feel like a proud mama. Like, oh my God, I really love you guys. Like, I hope it works out for them. I think they are going to be a hit.
Really cute. They're very loving to one another. They're kissing. You can see that they really like each other.
Yep.
You know, they're getting along really well. They're both not afraid to say how they feel about each other. They're both they look like they've been together for years and they're on their honeymoon. They look like they're on their
having
honeymoon.
a good time.
They
Like,
look like they're on their damn honeymoon.
Have we seen these couples go on their honeymoon and it just be miserable? You are in an exotic location. Can you just just try to enjoy it? They really are enjoying it.
What I think the moment she was really into him, but I think the moment that she really fell in love with him was when she was vulnerable with him about her health problems. And because you could tell, like, leading up to it, she was like in her little confessional, she kept talking about it now. And which I get, because I would be that way too. But she told him, and he's just like, okay, well, we'll figure it out. I gotta, I'm here for you. He didn't even look at her in a judgmental way. Like, they set me up with this unhealthy woman and this, that, and now I got to deal with her issues or what have you. I absolutely adore them. I think they're going to make it.
Me too.
Let's talk about Drunk Emily, aka Virginia, and Brennan, aka Eric, because I'm getting some Virginia and Eric vibes off of these two. She fell down. She fell down in the shower. Red flag. Drunk ass.
I'm not really. I'm still holding off judgment on her. I don't see her as a villain or a Virginia. Definitely, I don't see her there yet. And I don't even see him as an Eric. But I do have more question marks for him than I do for her, in like his sincerity.
Yeah.
Here's my thing with him, because in the I think it was the matchmaking. Either it was the matchmaking episode when they chose, they paired up all the couples, and he had talked about his parents that had been married for 40 something years or whatever, but he was very honest about his parents' relationship. Like, they've been married forever, but it's not the healthiest of relationships. Like, they argue a lot. Like, he made that clear. Like, they argue and they fight and they do all that. So in looking at Brennan, even though he's kind of reserved and a little bit introverted for now, I'm looking at him and how he looks at Emily and his interactions with her. And I'm just waiting for the bottom to drop. I think he's going to show his whole ass sooner rather than later. And it's not going to be pretty.
I think she drinks. I'm sorry. Go ahead, Sheila.
No, I was done.
Oh, I think she drinks to protect herself. I think she drinks to protect herself from because when you could see her getting a little nervous when they were having the tequila shots, and she's like, and they started talking about something. She's like, okay, one last shot, or let's take another shot. And I was like, ooh, that was an interesting way of her. I can see her because about the sex part, because she's all like, what about sex? And like, nervous about talking to him about sex. And he's like, you know, we're gonna have sex like eventually. It's interesting to see him hold back from that part of it when she seems so eager about it, and I think she masks her eagerness with the alcohol, whatever, and hoping she's like, well, we'll take it at your speed, but I'm ready. She's ready. She's ready to get.
Well, she's never had
Why
a
do you think
relationship, and she's always hooked up with people. So this is what she does. She's just continuing to do what she's been doing for the longest time. Going out. She likes to go out. She's made no bones about that. She likes to go out. She likes to drink. She likes to get hammered. And she has hookups. She told his friends at the wedding, that's what I just hook up. So
Right.
I think that's what she's thinking. Like, I mean, I get it. He says he's not a big drinker.
I mean, but she's not
It should
entirely
register-
wrong. She's married
If
to this man.
If he says he's not a big drinker, it should register in her brain that the first day on our honeymoon, I'm not going to take you on a tequila tasting. And she was all excited. She had the shots lined up, and they were taking shots and shots and shots and shots and shots. And he's like, oh, and he was kind of validating her too. Like, kind of like a girl like you. And I'm saying to myself, oh, you like her for now. But you ain't gonna like that shit a year from now or 5 years from now. You're gonna be like,
I don't. I think she's just doing it early on because she's nervous and masking her insecurities and fear that maybe she's, you know, because he hasn't tried to sleep with her yet, and she would have slept with him on the honeymoon.
yeah.
So I think she's nervous about, you know, is he really attracted to me because I'm used to having so and so and so. I don't think that I don't have a problem with them. I think they have a chance to make it. I think they like each other. She's trying. I can tell you one thing. She's trying to make that money.
Oh, I ain't mad at her on that
She's
one.
like, I'm all about my
her?
business. Yeah, she's like, I'm all about my money and this, that, and the other. And he's like, oh, well, we're gonna. And I think she liked the fact that he was like, oh, well, we're gonna have to see what you spend your money on. And she's like, oh, I kind of, you know, I think they're gonna. I think that's good. I think they are kind of good for one another. I think she hasn't had
Nice
someone,
yin and yang.
she
That's
hasn't
what I see.
had someone dedicated to her, whether on paper or not, dedicated to her and willing to try to rein her in, so to speak, from being single girl drunk, sex and money and working so hard. I think they have a chance to. I think it has a chance.
Okay, I'll give him that. It's still new, but
Yeah.
if
I mean,
he keeps on, I don't see that working out. But who knows? I mean, stranger things have happened. Who else do we have?
you want to talk about the N
Let's
word?
go. Talk about who?
The N word?
Such a good question.
Lauren and Orion.
Such a good question.
I think he's a little.
Can I just say,
go ahead, Shahida, go ahead.
Huh?
Go ahead.
He fell down completely for me. It wasn't his emotional ability to deal with it, and she nailed it when she said, you had more grace for a white man making a joke than you had for me making the same
and wasn't
joke,
even
but
joking
she said
about
something and
yeah.
No, right. You know, it was a legitimate, almost inquiry about something. And I'm livid. He didn't say I'm livid. He said, what? What was the word he used?
I'm a little tense about it. He was like, I'm a little, she's like, you seem tense. And he's like,
I'm very tense. Or something he said.
He was like this.
Like, you little bitch. You are a little bitch right now. And I don't see him coming back from it. I don't.
No.
What?
Listen to me. Rudy Huxtable checked his ass, said the same thing on the after party. She's like, she gave you. Rudy Huxtable said to him, she asked you if you used the N-word, and you said yes. And she gave you grace. Mm-hmm. And I don't understand
a lot
how you led her into, like, he literally led her into making the statement of the R word, and he wasn't letting that go. And she's like, I would have just loved to seen you give her the same type of grace that she gave you for using the N-word after you done led her up to
What
this.
did he say?
He said nothing. He was just sitting there like, I think, here's my thing on this.
He's a bitch.
I get it that he thinks that, he wants to, I get it that he thinks he wants to know her future, but I think he's not into her like people think he's into her or she's into him. But I think that he's just looking for a way out, and he just got his way out by her saying the R.
I don't think that. I think that he just got extra sensitive. He got a little more sensitive than needed to be, because what I liked about her and what she did. Are you there? Yeah. What I liked about her and what she did is she went like this. Okay. Remember, you could see her go, I'm gonna leave this right here with you. Mm-hmm. I asked you if you were tense. You seem tense. I'm trying to rectify the situation. I'm trying to calm it down. I'm trying to explain myself. I'm trying to either show you how it feels. And then after a while, he wasn't backing down. He's like, she's like, okay. You see her go, okay. And I was like, ooh, that was the way to, if you're going to do it.
Very emotionally mature.
Yeah. If you're going to do it, that's the way to do it. And okay, well, this is noted, duly noted. I see how you are extra sensitive, even though I'm a black woman. I get it. I understand. I'm here with you. I am not trying to attack you. Your skin is red, motherfucker, right now. Your skin is red. Not calling you a red skin, but your skin is red. And I'm trying to lighten it, and I'm trying to I'm not meaning to be offensive to you, but you kind of did the, let him off the hook. I don't know why you did that. She came from all different angles, and he still wasn't budging. He was still so tense like this. And she said, okay, okay. And kind of backed off from trying to, because after a while, he was not hearing it. He was not hearing it.
No, he wasn't.
That was the way to approach it on her part. She did a really good job of approaching it. And we'll see how it goes in the future, or and maybe he'll come around and be like, okay, maybe I was being a little extra sensitive. Maybe I was. But.
The way she kept trying to acknowledge his feelings to let him know, I hear you, and how stubborn and just that wall built up between him and her that he built himself makes me, like I said, I feel like he's a little bitch, which is harsh, but he just comes off that way. And she's too good for him, because she's very, I felt split. It was so emotionally mature, and she did a great job. And that's how I would want my partner to treat me, because it was full of respect. And he was so disrespectful on the other turn. It was horrible. I don't like him right now. It's going to take a minute for me to get over that interaction.
I agree. And again, it just goes back to every other culture, race. They all, it just pisses me off. It's okay when they say it. Like they get passes.
Or you give them grace, like she said.
We give them grace. Like they can be like, well, I used to say the N-word in high school and college, or when I'm hanging out listening to music, I say it, whatever. And we give them the grace. And then if we admit, or we've said, or we say a certain word, and then it's like our lives are friggin' basically over. We're canceled. And I think we as a people, that shit needs to change. Like we need to just be like, you know what? You just can't say it. We just about to cancel everybody, but I already know that's not going to happen. But I just don't like the fact that it's always always a double standard. Like he said it, like when he didn't have no problem when she said, have you ever said the N-word? He's like, oh yeah. But but I was young. I was young. I was in high school. And she's like, oh, okay. And then he's like, well, what about you? She didn't say, oh, yeah. I said redskin. I said this and that. It's like, bro, he led her up to that. And I don't like it. So yeah, I'm with you, Shahida. I'm not a fan of his right now. And I agree with you that I think she is way too good for him. I think that the poor thing living in Denver, I mean, the Black population in Denver is what, like 0.1, if that. So the likelihood of them pairing her up with a Black man was obviously going to be slim to none. So what better alternative to give her than an indigenous man? So I'm just like, I don't like it, but we'll see. I'm on the fence with them, but he's gonna have to clean that shit up and get in her good graces. She shouldn't have to have a conversation with him anymore next episode about, where do we go
broke
from here?
ass.
He needs to friggin' clean that shit up.
All right, so who's next?
Well, the last couple
The
is
other crazy ass.
Cameron and Claire, and Cameron is all about that sex. Cameron wants to break a back. He wants to have sex.
I didn't really get that much from him.
I
like him. I don't like her.
I don't like either one of them.
I don't think she is very smart. In the maturity section, like she's a therapist. She's got to be the worst fucking therapist because she over analyzes every single thing. That conversation that they had, I think she's looking at marriage like it's kind of like a romantic comedy, or it's just too scripted. It's not real life, as how I'm getting from her. I mean, I could take him a little bit more, but I don't like her at all.
I actually like Cameron. I think first of all, I was shocked because in the matchmaking when they showed him, I didn't realize he was as tall as he was. So for me, that was like attractive to me. And I was like, oh my God, he's so tall. And of course, everybody's a sucker for an accent, and it is what it is. But I'm like, I think with Cameron and how like kind of upfront he can be, how he was at the wedding and stuff, and he was like talking. I like the confident man. I didn't look at it as like when her family was like, "Oh, you might as well brush your shoulder off because you think you're all that." And I'm like, what's wrong with that? There's nothing wrong with being confident. There's a difference between being cocky and being confident. I think he's just confident in who he is as a person and as a man. I like him. I think there might be some cultural differences. Obviously, he's from New Zealand and he's here. And, certain things he might say or, certain ways he might look at things might come off as a little bit judgy to us or a little bit like way too upfront for us Americans. But I kind of like him. I think that she's so, because she's also quadruplet and she's all into her family. I don't know. I think there's a disconnect there. I think he wants to make a move on her because he's as he's expressed to her so many times, he's more into the physical of the intimacy rather than talking. He's more into the physical. And I think she is probably more into like, let's talk and let's kind of work our way up to this. So I don't know. I think there's a little bit of a disconnect there. I think they could work, but I don't know.
I think a couple things. I think he feels very privileged. His attitude of like their whole argument of she's like, well, you don't have to work for anything. He's like, if the door is there, there'd be door that you have to walk through it. And she's like, yeah, but you gotta work to get to the door. So that whole, I just think first of all, she's not attracted to him. I don't think she's attracted to him at all. I think she's doing it to try to be, let's see if it works. She's not attracted to him at all because she's not giving him any signals whatsoever of like, oh, I want, and he's too in his head kind of. And there was no meeting of the minds when they were having their argument. Not like,
See, I thought that she was too in her head.
Well, I don't think she's attracted to him. I think that comes from she's looking for excuses to separate even more from him. She's like, oh, I don't agree with that at all. When you say that to someone, for me, when someone says that to someone else, it's like I don't agree with that, but let's see if we can figure out a common ground. She was like, no, I totally disagree. To me, it showed I'm trying to separate myself from you because I don't really like you. And he kept going, this is the way I think. And he didn't give her any leeway or anything. He's like, no, everyone gets, and it felt kind of privileged to me. And even though he's trying, I just don't think she's, and he's looking for an end. I just don't think that she's attracted to him. And I don't think that's going to work at all. They ain't going to work at all.
I don't know.
I don't think it's going to work.
I think the height thing might have turned her off too, because I remember after the wedding, she had made that comment. Like, I didn't realize you were going to be so tall. And she had kind of said that she had talked to the experts and was like, I want him to be tall, but not like tall. And he's like legit tall over her. So I don't know.
They ain't gonna work.
I don't think that's. I don't know. I'm not going to say I don't think it's going to work. I'm going to give them a little bit of grace and hopefully think that it works out, because I like Cameron.
So I do like I like him better than her. The conversation with what you're saying when he's like, I just, if the door's there and I just walk through it, I'm like, I get what he's saying. That's how some people just live their life. Whatever happens. And if I can benefit from it, then I'm just gonna, go. He owns a bike shop. So he's not super, super ambitious,
But she doesn't
which is what I think that she.
Yeah,
that's what I was gonna say. Which I think she has a problem with. His kind of like happy-go-lucky, we'll see how it works out kind of thing. To me, it's fine. He seems to be financially stable. He seems to be grounded. It's not like he's moving from place to place. So in that instance, I don't see what her problem was with him saying, if a door opens, then I'm gonna go through it. And her whole like, well, don't you got to work to get to the door? And like, fuck, calm down. Just calm down. I don't think she is giving him any grace, but I did not think that it was because she wasn't attracted to him. But now I'm thinking maybe she doesn't like him.
She's trying to separate herself
because
from
there's
him
no there.
Because there's no physical. She clowns on him all the time. If how he dresses, it's not like, oh, he's so goofy, I like that. If it was Becca, she'd be like, that's my Cameron, whatever. She's like, oh, Goofy's okay. She's trying to justify, but for him to say, yeah, I don't know if she really likes how I dress because she thinks that I'm, he can feel that she's kind of like, oh yeah, no, I mean it's okay. You're gonna wear that, really? Okay. She's not attracted to him, and he's too goofy for her.
I don't like her.
Yeah.
But here's the thing. Like, she should have never capped on him with what he was wearing to go. What were they doing? The pedal boarding or whatever you call that thing, paddle boarding. He had on swim trunks and a matching shirt, and he had on his hat.
Well, no, it wasn't matching because it's a different pattern. That's what she said.
Whatever. But what was you wearing this?
But that's what
you go paddle boating with denim shorts on, flip flops, and like just a regular old t-shirt or tank top. Like, wear a bathing suit, ma'am. You're in the water.
And I can't tell if she's attractive or not.
I think she's attractive.
She seems, I don't know, something about her. She's pretty, but I'm just not. I just can't
but
be
her
like.
Her attitude sucks so badly. It's hard to think of her as pretty.
Yeah. I think she's attractive. I just think she needs to.
That's like Becca. Like Becca's pretty, but I like Becca, so I think she's even more pretty than she is. And this girl's almost the same type of pretty, but I like her less because I'm like,
same with Austin. Like, Austin is just a regular old, plain old dude. And the way that Austin, like the way they engage with each other, like him sitting in the bathtub while she was getting ready, and he's got his tray of fruit, and he's just making all kinds of jokes, and he's eating his fruit, and she's like, hee, and I'm sitting there like, oh my God, I love that. Like that shit would make me giddy as hell.
Yeah.
It's the little things, but listen, I think all I'm gonna say is I think that this season, this is gonna be a good season. And I don't think we've seen the last of Michael. That's all I'm gonna say. Let's not dismiss Michael just yet. Something tells me Michael's gonna make a resurgence, like in the middle of the friggin' things.
All right.
Michael's gonna come in. I love that shit. I love that surprise shit. All right, y'all. Well, listen, it's been a good hour, good conversation. We'll see y'all next week.
A recommendation: The Insurrectionist Next Door from Tanya.
Y'all gotta, if y'all want to laugh at shit,
if you have not seen The Insurrectionist Next Door, you
watch
are missing out.
And if you haven't, it's on Max. And if you haven't watched Escape in Twin Flame on Netflix, y'all best to cue that up too.
Is that good?
Listen, right. And I tell you.
And movie recommendations: Anatomy of a Fall. If you haven't seen that, it's a French film. It won the Palme d'Or at Cannes. It is really, really, really good. Anatomy of a Fall.
Anatomy of a Fall.
Anatomy of a Fall. And then I just saw Killers of the Flower Moon. It's 3 hours, the Martin Scorsese thing. And they spoke afterwards. The three sisters spoke afterwards. The three American Indian. And so it's a long film, but it's excellent. I think it's going to win Best Picture. And the third, I saw May December with Natalie Portman and Julianne Moore, where Natalie Portman plays an actress who is researching a role of Julianne Moore is a Mary Kay Letourneau. and her young husband with their 3 kids. So she goes to their house in Georgia just because they're going to tell their story, and it's the movie about the story. It's a movie about her researching the story. So that's coming out very soon. It'll be up for Oscars.
And you saw it and it was good?
Called May December. Yeah, it's on. Is it Apple? I don't know if it's on. No, I think it's a Netflix film. It's a Netflix film, but it's out in the theaters now. May December. Okay. It's really good. It's really good.
Text us the list of the movies, and I can put them on.
Anatomy of the Fall, May December.
I will watch too. Yeah. I'm not going to the movies to see the first one. There's the Flower Moon or whatever it is. Because I'm going to go sit in the movie for 3.5 hours. My bladder, my 55-year-old bladder, I have to wear it
on a big screen and sit there and watch it. Because if you watch it at home, you're not going to get the full amount of it. You're going to get distracted because you got to sit in there and watch a movie. It's a beautiful Scorsese. Great acting. Leonardo's going to be up for an Oscar. De Niro's going to be up for an Oscar. The Indian woman is going to be up for an Oscar. And it's going to be at least
on Apple TV streaming now.
At least 10 Oscars. At least, if not Best Picture.
Anyway.
I wonder how close they kept to the book, because I read the book last year and I really had me pissed off going to work.
It's really good.
It was really good though.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. All right, that's it. That's my recommendations.
All right, y'all. Well, listen here. We'll see y'all next week. I'll be flying out to Cali, so you'll be seeing me and Chris in the same location. Shahida, don't give us the side eye. Here we are. I only said that once. Here we are. All right, y'all. It's been real. Until next time.
I'm jealous.